Hey, what's up, motherfuckers?
All right.
Guys Talking Fights.
Episode 8. Yeah. You can say it, bro.
I was going to say, you guys almost had that at the same time.
Yeah. Last time, I mentioned
Dragon Ball
most
Z.
podcasts go up to episode 8. And then if they're not going to continue, usually they stop after 8. So we're on 8.
We're going strong.
I'm happy. I'm proud. That don't mean shit. Let's talk about the fights this weekend.
Tomorrow night. Friday night.
So, talk about the fights that happened last weekend.
Oh, okay.
My apologies.
Okay.
I forget.
Okay.
We're a little later than usual.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, Mike Davis, Thomas Gifford.
Hell yes.
Knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Thomas Gifford, I just said it. If you have an up-and-coming fighter who's very talented, put him up against Thomas Gifford. Because he's like a human punching bag. He doesn't go down. He's tough as fuck. You can just beat the shit out of him for 3 rounds and then knock him out at the end. So I'm pretty sure his last fight, it's exactly what happened as well. He got fucked up.
Bisping was pretty pissed off that the ref wasn't stopping the fight because, Gifford was out. He was done. They should have stopped that fight. And Bisping's like, just stop the fight. And then on the last time Gifford got up, even Bisping said, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Thomas. And then, boom, combo.
Yep.
Gifford went face planting down.
They probably could have called that fight 15, 20 seconds earlier than they did.
Yeah. In fact, it was so bad that the ref was supposed to ref, like, the following fight. And they took the ref out, and they were like, no, you can't ref anymore tonight.
He was supposed to ref one of the later fights, like one of the main event fights.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were like, nope. I can't remember which one it was, though. Whether it was the...
Might have been co-main.
I think it was co-main, actually, because then Herb Dean was on the co-main.
Yeah.
Cup and Crone.
I'm really glad they did that. I actually didn't know that.
That ref was not very good at all.
No, he wasn't. I'm glad they told him
they've had tough luck with some of these refs that aren't the big name guys. And with so many different what's the word I'm looking for?
Athletic commissions?
Well, yeah, sort of, but like the like you got Bellator over here and like all the different
organizations.
Yes,
yeah.
that need refs, and so you've got now like I'm bidding for, and you've got Dan Mergliot over here. You got Herb Dean still with the UFC, and you still do see Dan, but
actually the refs don't work for UFC or the promotions. The refs work for the athletic commissions. So if Bellator's in California and UFC's in California, and then say like Rizin comes to California, they're all gonna have the same ref.
Yeah, like Herb Dean could ref.
Oh yeah, no, I would get that, but it's just with so many of them, they're spread thin.
That's true.
So
the good refs.
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
Yeah,
so so you have a lot of them that are probably not gonna. I don't even know if they can when they go outside the country. Yeah. If you see any of them. Like, I don't pay too much attention. But, like, when they were in, Jesus, I'm having a tough time.
Norway? Denmark?
No, I was thinking of the Habib one. When they were in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
I don't remember seeing any refs that I recognized, I don't think. But I remember them having a tough time where 2 or 3 times you're going, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
With some of these refs.
Some of them are very questionable, dude. Hopefully they do what they just did. They just keep doing what they did. If someone has
just let Herb ref everything,
doesn't know, or he just fucked up, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Then it's like, "You're not gonna ref later tonight. You're done.
Yep, sorry,
you're done
dude.
For the night. Like that's it, man. Like peace out."
Sucks.
So it's good they did that. Fuck yeah.
Good.
Hey guys, JJ Aldrich. She opened the prelims.
Won by decision.
Yeah, she won by decision. She looked good, and little segue into what will be coming up. Aldrich just lost her last fight. I believe it was her last fight, unless she's fought since then, but to Macy Barber, who's fighting this weekend. Just throwing that out there. And I really like Macy Barber, and I'm a fan.
That's a good segue.
So she beat Aldrich, and Aldrich just got a win. Barber. So good for her. I like her. She looked pretty good.
Sounds just going to make Barber look even better.
Exactly. Yep. Hopefully she can get a win this weekend. That'd be cool.
Let's see what else we got. You want to say that guy's last name?
Figueiredo.
Yes.
Figueiredo.
He choked out Tim Elliott round 1. Held the choke a little long, I thought. Nothing too crazy like Paul Harris does, but
yeah, I don't think it was intentional. I think he was just in the moment. He was I don't know what he was doing. I mean, the ref was there.
He
was
immediately
grabbing on him.
apologized to the ref and to Elliott.
Yeah, I think he was just not paying attention in the moment, happy that he had the choke, whatever. But yeah, he definitely didn't mean it. But he looked good, man. Flyweight, so I feel like not many people are talking about it. Interesting that he's ranked number 2 in the flyweight division. Yeah. And he wasn't even like the main event on the prelims.
Just behind Joseph Benavidez.
Third fight from the main on the prelims. It's interesting to... I know it's the flyweight division, and obviously UFC does not give them tons of love, but...
That's the guy that Benavidez just called out, right? I mean, not called out, but said, like, hey, let me...
Figueiredo?
Yeah. Have Cejudo vacate if he's not going to defend flyweight and let these two go for it.
Yeah,
Benavidez and Figueiredo.
Figueiredo.
Whatever it is.
17-1, by the way. Dude's only got one fucking loss.
Let's see what else we have. Ryan Superman Spann choking out Devin Clark in round 2. So Spann looked really slow.
Yep.
Too relaxed, I feel like. He even
lethargic almost. He said
he felt lethargic.
Yeah.
And it was funny because it was the Bisping curse, where Bisping has something dumb to say on commentary, and he said, Spann really needs to step on the gas pedal here because he's going to lose this fight. And right as he said that, Spann goes in with some heavy punches, and these guys are both huge. I mean, they're light heavyweights, but they look like heavyweights. Clark's thighs were like the size of me.
Clark's, yes, his thigh probably weighs as much as you do.
He's called the brown bear.
Legs. Oh.
Clark was?
Yep, the brown bear.
Legs like a brown bear.
They're both huge guys.
Thick legs.
And Spann hurt him and then choked him out. So, good on Spann.
Yeah, Spann looked good.
So, nice.
That light heavyweight division, man. Yep. We got a lot of these guys look good. It's just, I feel like there's a lot of new blood in this division, but not a lot of guys that have a ton of hype behind them necessarily.
Right.
So these guys they need to keep fighting. They need to keep this division active. So it's good to see someone, Ryan Spann. I don't know if I'd ever heard of him prior to this fight.
For sure, he's on the Contender Series.
Contender Series guy. Okay, cool.
But
that's good.
I'm actually glad that light heavyweight's getting some fresh blood.
Yeah, it's good, man.
And we're getting some people going up from middleweight to light heavyweight. Preview for later in the show.
Yep.
And then we go on
to a cool fight. What was it Reyes versus Weidman?
That's gonna be the main event, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Next fight starts the main card.
Yeah, shoot over the main card. Fuck yeah.
Eric Anders defeated Gerald Meerschaert by split decision, and that opened up the card. And you guys see that fight?
Yeah, Meerschaert. We were saying, I think he fucking won that fight.
I thought
Zach did not see that. Correct. That fight, Meerschaert. Yeah, I think Meerschaert won. I think he beat Eric Anders. I think Anders maybe took the first round. And then I would go Meerschaert for the second and the third.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it was close.
It was a close fight. Neither guy dominated for sure. I just think Meerschaert, he kind of took control, so to speak. He had his jab. Look, he just kept throwing that jab out there. He was really relaxed. He was moving forward a lot. He was really kind of putting the pressure on. Nothing over the top, no like crazy pressure, no wild swings, but he was just kind of boxing him up, jabbing him, just landing some good shots, and just being more active in the last 2 rounds. I think it was enough for him to get the win.
Yeah, he became comfortable. After the first round, he got way more comfortable. Because I think in the first round, Anders just showed a little bit too much power, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. Meerschaert was like, okay, I definitely need to stay away from this guy, and I think definitely you could see a change in the second round where Eric Anders kind of started slowing down just a little bit. Didn't have as much pressure, didn't quite have as much behind. I mean, still enough to knock a dude out, but didn't have as much behind his punches. And Meerschaert was like, all right. So he just started moving forward and just throwing out his jab and just doing work.
Interestingly enough, this was Eric Anders' return to middleweight after fighting the last 2, maybe 3 fights at light heavyweight.
Yeah, because he earlier this year got knocked out by Roundtree, right? Or was it last year? Late last year? No, earlier this year, for sure.
Decision. I believe it was decision.
Yeah, maybe it was decision.
Roundtree had
I think you're right. Yeah. My bad.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Well, let's hear from Zach.
Violent Bob Ross?
Violent Bob Ross versus the Steamroller.
Frovola.
That's right.
He lost.
Who lost?
Frovola.
Frivola, he won technically, but yeah, we all agree.
Yeah, technically.
Pena easily,
like you were saying with the last fight, I think Frovola definitely won the first round, and then I think Pena took 2 and 3.
Yeah. And I would say round 2.
Yeah, it could have been a 10-8 round 2.
It not even could have been. I would say it definitely was.
Yeah, he dominated him in round 2.
He knocked him down. He what was it, a knee?
Jumping switch knee.
A jumping
that didn't
switch
knock
knee.
him down, but that was...
I thought it did.
Shit,
I thought he knocked him down. Didn't
he went into the cage, but he didn't.
Okay.
He didn't go down on that one.
He was practically out, though.
Yeah, no, I mean,
he
holy shit.
Interestingly enough, though, for Vola, he was basically the hometown guy in that fight.
Yeah.
And so whenever you get a fight that's super close like that, but that being a split decision,
yeah,
I can see
we've mentioned this before too.
Could have been fight of the night if not for Crone and Cub.
I think it was fight of the night. That's my opinion.
You did, yeah. You said that, dude. You think that was fight of the night, and if you guys want to, we can skip over a few, and just go right to that Swanson Gracie, and then we can just go back.
Well, I do want to say that Amanda Hebus looked awesome,
dude,
against Mackenzie Dern, dude. She
Yes.
looked really good.
Gave Mackenzie Dern her first loss.
We don't necessarily have to stay on any of these for long.
Well, actually, if we're just gonna touch on that one, I have to give Dern credit on that one because she had a.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. She's fighting against 4 months ago she had a baby, so that's
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, no, that definitely wasn't a good time frame for her to be fighting.
I don't know about exactly.
And she made weight.
Exactly. I don't know exactly about her skills in that fight, but she, like you said, she had a daughter 4 months ago. She's missed weight in her last 3 fights or something, 3 or 4 fights, but she actually made 115 no problems this time after having a daughter, and she didn't even look flabby. I remember her last fight. I know it's mean to say, but she had a little bit of chub around her. This fight, she looked not cut. Amanda Hebus looked cut.
Yeah,
but she looked good, man.
But Dern looked good.
I think
I was very impressed by her.
And I don't know anything about this, but I feel like one of the female announcers on there had said something about how the metabolism picks up after having a baby.
Yeah.
So that she said that helped her out actually.
No shit.
After having the baby, that it was easier of a weight cut because her metabolism had picked up so much.
Yep.
More female fighters should have children. Than
bouncing up one more.
Help them with that.
Nico Price, brutal up kick, knocks out James Vick.
Dude.
Third straight KO. Not for Nico Price. Third straight time James Vick's gotten KO'd.
Man, that such a dirty
his
knockout,
debut
man.
at welterweight.
Ryan, you were saying that the sound of his heel hitting...
Oh, that was immediate.
The sound of Nico Price's heel hitting James Vick in the side of the head was borderline sickening.
Oh, yeah.
Jaw or something. But,
yep.
So we
has to be broken.
We touched on Gifford earlier.
I thought I hit him
I think it caught him right here.
Yeah, I thought it was on the head.
I think it got him on the chin.
Whatever it was brutal sounding. Now, Gifford was brutal looking because, he was already hurt and then face planted, full-on face planted. This one was the sound. It was so brutal.
Vic actually had dominant position.
He was in the guard.
If you want to call that.
Well, yeah actually,
he was standing up, kind of, and he was coming down, just kind of throwing shots from standing. You're good, Zach. Throwing shots from standing, and then, Nico Price just comes up with that leg and from his back. Dude, that was... Whew.
This is the second time within Nico Price's last maybe 2 or 3 fights he's actually won off of his back. I don't know if it was his last fight, maybe it was the fight prior to that. He was doing hammer fists from his back.
Yes.
Up to someone, I forgot who it was, and knocked the guy out, and the guy just fell into him. Same thing happened again. We're actually looking.
I literally just shuddered watching Nico Price knock him out.
It was in the head, though, right?
Hold on, I have to see it one more time.
I could be wrong, but
Vic
either
fell
way.
down into Price's.
I have to watch it again.
Vic fell down into his guard, and Price got him with a couple punches.
Yes.
Right there.
Right on the chin.
Jesus.
On the chin.
Yeah,
dude.
on the chin.
Oh, that
was wrong.
I mean, it was the sound. It was just so bad, though. Man, it was rough.
Yeah, Vic was right on him.
And that's the thing, is that Vic, honestly, before it, looked pretty good. Because he has such a huge reach advantage on everybody because he's so big.
This was his welterweight debut.
Goddamn 6'4".
Yep. Yeah. And so he was, I mean, Vic had him kind of like knees into his chest. Jesus Christ. Vic had Nico's knees like in his chest, but he was still pounding him in the face because his arms are so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden that leg gets free and he gets caught in the chin. And how many unnecessary punches were there? Not that he had any idea that they were unnecessary at the time, but
I mean, he was technically on Price.
Oh yeah, no, he had just slumped over after the knockout.
Oh, it was bad.
He took a couple extra, but the ref did a good job of getting in there pretty quick. I wouldn't say there was any.
It was Herb Dean again.
I was about to say, was it Herb Dean?
There you go.
Seriously, just let him do everything. It's fine.
I mean, if he dies, he dies.
He's gonna be there all night anyway. Might as well.
Yeah.
Just train Bruce Buffer.
So you were saying
train Bruce Buffer.
Will, you were actually saying that you think Vic should retire after that one?
I'm not saying he should retire. I'm saying he should step back and I mean I did say that, but I didn't seriously mean like, hey, James Vick, you should retire now. But I think he should definitely take a step back and really just take a look at his last. It's 3 knockouts in a row.
He should take a mental health break.
Justin Gaethje, then Dan Hooker, and now Nico Price.
Yep.
That's tough, man. We take 3 of those in a row.
That's a murderer's row of dudes, though.
Do I need to get back in here? And I mean, it's always a possibility to get knocked out. I'm sure that's always on their mind. But when it happens 3 fights in a row, you want to go in for a potential 4th, like,
and not TKOs.
Not good for someone, you know.
Not
TKOs.
Like
knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, I mean maybe a 6-8 month break, maybe a Kamaru Usman break,
like a good break. 9, 10, 12, like a year maybe. Take a year off and really, you know, get his shit.
He's a little bit older though, so we'll see what happens. But then again, you've got some of these guys that.
Oh, you're saying who's older?
Vic,
yeah. Is he? How old is James
30-something probably.
I can get that real quick.
Yeah, take your time. No rush. But yeah, I mean, I just think he should really, you know, just
he's
before
32.
he gets back in the optic. 32 years old.
Oh,
Okay, so still younger. In his technically, I guess you'd say in his prime, prime years, coming up to the end. But like, you know, 28, 29 to maybe 34. Some guys a little later, mid 35 or so. But
I was gonna say people are talking about Jorge and Nate being at the end of them, and that's what they are, is 34, 35.
Yeah,
so.
Here you go. It's kind of like the last of. It's still, I would say, your prime years, but the last of them probably, unless you're fucking like Yoel Romero.
Jesus.
Yeah, there you go. No, there's of course your guys that are just
special ones.
Yeah.
The ones that I wish I was.
Very special.
When I get up to that age, I really wish I can be like that when I get older.
That'd be fucking great.
When I grow up, I want to be like Randy Couture.
Cub and Crone.
Cub and Crone. Co-main event.
Cub and Crone.
So, Crone Gracie said that he thought he won the fight. I don't think anyone agrees with that. He didn't win the fight. He lost the decision. Cub Swanson.
He definitely made it closer than I thought it was going to be after the first round.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
he definitely did. I wouldn't say, he definitely didn't. You're right. He didn't get dominated, but Cub Swanson won the fight. It was something along the lines of 130-something, 134 significant strikes from Cub to like 80-something, 86, 87 from Crone Gracie. So
which is still higher than I thought.
That right there.
I still thought that's higher than.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, when you got here before we started recording, that you thought that you didn't realize that Crone had landed that many shots and did that much damage to Cub, and then we looked at a post-fight interview of Cub, and you could see Crone landed some shots, man. He hurt him for sure, but Cub, he won the fight. Way more output. He controlled the fight more. Crone's got to do something about his takedowns. Just throw that out there.
I don't think he really attempted that many takedowns during that fight. And the announcers were even saying that he was fighting like a Diaz brother because he trains with the Diaz brothers.
But his boxing isn't good enough to do that.
Exactly.
That's his problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite. He definitely doesn't have that like knockout stop stopping power.
Well, he doesn't even have
Like,
to have he doesn't even have to have knockout power. He just have to he has to have better stand-up defense. And like, I mean, I get him thinking that he won because he's going, oh yeah, no, whatever with these body shots, none of this stuff hurt me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but that's a point for the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he hits you in the stomach, that's a point that the ref's looking at.
He didn't look great either after the fight.
No.
He was, I mean, no one necessarily does, but it's not like he was like Pena after his fight. Dude, he didn't even look like he had gotten in a fight almost.
Yeah, and Frivola's face was falling off.
Yeah, so like, you know, you could see Crone was fucked up. He was bruised, he was swollen, you know, just like Cub was. Cub just
But seriously, who thought he was going to be able to
shots.
survive 2 more rounds of those body kicks?
Yeah.
Body punches, I thought.
Just any of it.
Yeah.
Any of it.
I mean,
I
was assuming you meant leg kicks.
That too.
There's some leg kicks.
He didn't. Yeah. He doesn't have very good stand-up defense for anything.
Hitting him in the body with those fists, boy.
Yeah.
A lot.
He was
not very good stand-up D.
Right into the gut.
Here we go. All right.
Yeah. I mean,
right in the gut there. How's that for you, boy?
Round one. I thought, like, okay, well, I had this one wrong because, and I looked right into this camera and I said, mark my words, watch GTF episode number 7.
I'm pretty sure we marked him.
Oh, we what?
Like marked. Like after you said mark my words, I was like, all right, it's marked. Consider it marked.
Yeah, it's marked. And I had it wrong. I said Cub Swanson's going to get knocked out. Or no, Cub Swanson's going to get choked out round 1. And I was completely
it's funny because this is a little bit off the mark.
So you're not alone on it. You said it, but I agreed hard.
Yep.
And I think
good for Cub.
When I saw it, he wasn't talking about Crone Gracie, but Askren was in an interview. Ben Askren was in an interview screaming at somebody saying, hey, you know, jiu-jitsu guys don't have takedowns.
Don't mind me.
The interviewer, I don't remember who it was asking him about how he was going to prepare for Damian Maia or whoever it was as takedowns, and he was saying jiu-jitsu doesn't have takedowns.
Right.
So that's another thing where it's like, yeah, if Crone wasn't going to get him to the ground, he was going to lose. I think that was pretty consensus.
I don't think Crone tried hard enough to get him
I agree
to
with
the
that.
ground.
I think he was thinking that his stand-up was going to be better because of who he trains with.
Yeah.
But he also trains with guys that are at least Nate is somewhat notorious for not picking it up until the 2nd or 3rd round.
Right.
So he went into that first round, got his body punched to death, and then by the 2nd and 3rd round, no matter what he did, he wasn't going to win that fight. Bar taking him down and choking him out.
Speaking of Nate in the 5 rounds, just a random, if you don't mind if we go off topic for a quick second.
No.
Take a quick little segue.
No.
Just because you happened to mention that.
Okay.
We're going to do it anyway.
Okay.
If the fight goes 5 rounds between Nate and Masvidal, do you think that favors Nate?
Yes.
Or do you think it favors Masvidal?
Nate.
Man, I don't know. I feel like they're the same fighter.
I think
Very
eventually, if something were to happen, Nate gets knocked down 2-3 times. He's not able to.
You want some?
If Jorge's feeling himself boxing, I think he can outbox Nate. If Jorge's feeling himself boxing, I think he'll outbox Nate.
Right.
So that's the thing, is that if he's getting like supremely outboxed, eventually he'll take it to the ground because his jiu-jitsu is much better than Masvidal's.
Right.
And Masvidal can wrestle, but I still don't. I think that if it's going to go 5 rounds, it's going to be because Jorge doesn't manage to knock him out. Laughing at just how full that glass is. Can't make the table wiggle.
I'm not fucking around. By the way, wine out of a whiskey glass. I'm a classy motherfucker.
Obviously.
No one ever doubted that.
Once you get married, you don't give a fuck about anything anymore.
I don't give a fuck about anything right now, and I'm freshly unengaged. So.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies, he's sort of kind of still single, I guess, I think, right?
No,
yeah, he's single.
Yeah,
okay.
single. Full on single.
Full on single motherfucker right here.
So shout out to Tinder.
Not Karen.
Shout out to
No,
not Karen.
Or Leah anymore.
Oh, damn it, Leah.
No, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
It's okay.
We won't go into
Moving
that.
on.
We'll talk about that later.
Moving on.
Anyway, let's shoot up to
Did you hear any of that?
Joanna?
As you were pouring that glass of wine?
Yeah, I heard.
You threw us into Masvidal and all that and then just ran away?
I thought you guys talked about it.
Moving on.
This is Guys Talking Fights.
Oh, my personal opinion, too, also.
No, I don't want it
goes to
anymore.
5 rounds, fuck you. If it goes to 5 rounds, I wanted some wine. If it goes to 5 rounds, I do say Nate has an advantage, but I don't think it's going to.
You don't think it's going to go 5 rounds?
No.
Ooh, how do you see if...
Masvidal's going to knock him out.
We'll get into that.
Okay. I like
We'll
that.
get into that when the fight gets closer. I believe it's November 3rd, so we got some time.
Yeah.
We'll get into it when we get there, but I don't
November
think
2nd.
it goes 5 rounds.
We have
second.
We have this event and then one more event.
Yep, Damian Maia, Ben Askren in Singapore.
Yes.
And then there's a week off.
Thank
Halloween
God.
weekend.
Thank
Or
God.
no, the week before Halloween weekend. And then
November 3rd is...
second.
November 2nd?
Yep.
I could have sworn it was November 3rd. It's so
Nope.
weird. Okay, November 2nd
Whatever it may be. It's coming
for
up.
Diaz Masvidal.
But, dudes.
Talking Fights. DTF.
Dudes Talking Fights. We need to move on. Main event.
Moving on.
Joanna Young Jacek and Michelle Watterson. We were...
I was sleeping.
Yes, you...
I fell asleep.
Wow, you just...
It was a
did
good
that.
fight.
Yeah, Ryan fucking fell asleep.
Yep.
And then woke up at the post-fight interviews.
Yep.
Missed
Oh,
the
no,
whole
I lied.
fight.
There is no time off. No time off. Next weekend,
Is it
Saturday,
nonstop
October
fights?
26th. Yeah, I forget how late we are in the month already. Yeah. Yep. All right, continue. Joanna Young Jacek.
I can't contribute.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
All
Ryan
right,
can't
so
tell us 'cause
she looked
Joanna
awesome.
did what everybody
She
thought
looked
Joanna
fucking
was gonna
awesome.
do.
No, see that's the thing is that I'm going before the fight and I'm going, all right, Michelle looks great. She's in like tip top condition. Suck that down.
Sorry about that. That was an accident.
I mean,
It's hard drinking out of this glass.
pretty sure I sent that photo to both of you guys of her
Really full.
ahead of time and the abs and the thighs and just holy
Yeah, dude.
fuck.
Yeah.
The
So
Karate Hottie was looking mighty hottie.
yeah, dude. So, and then when you're hearing just a couple days ahead of time, oh, Joanna's having trouble making weight,
Yep.
all this other stuff, I'm going, okay, well, if she's gonna have a struggle to cut weight, then maybe she's not gonna be ready to go Saturday night.
And that's
Yep.
what fucked over my choice, really.
Oh yeah,
I had chose Watterson because of that.
me too.
Fucked it right
Me
up.
too. I bet money on that. God damn it! I can't look into the camera because it's not in the middle anymore.
Just make eye contact. It's all good. Fuck.
So the one thing I can contribute to is Joanna looked super cocky walking out, and while they're like announcing her name and everything, she looked so cocky, and I was like, "Oh, you better do something good here."
Right before you fell into a slumber, before
And
they
I
actually
fell into a
started fighting.
Now I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I'm watching the fight, and I don't remember if it was during the first round or if it made it into the second round. But there was a point, and you see it a lot of times, or at least I do, when you see, like, you just watched Israel do it, you watch some of these guys do it when they get into feeling it, and they start just moving a little bit looser and stuff like that, and Joanna did that.
Yes.
She got
100%.
into a point, and I don't remember if it was the end of the first or early in the second round, where I just went, oh shit, she's going to win.
She just
And it
locked
was
in, just
early.
feeling It, right?
It was early where I just went, oh fuck.
Yeah.
She's going to win. And not that I don't like her, but I had money on Watterson again.
So I gotta pose a question to you guys actually about Watterson. You said she used to fight at atom weight, 105. She's obviously been looking good. She's a great fighter. Do you think she even might be a little too small for the high end, the top end of
115.
of 115 pounds?
She has a
Do you think
tough
she's
reach
just a little
disadvantage.
too small of a person
I
to
don't.
to make it into that top 3?
I don't think she can make 105 again, because if you look at her body,
Not that she couldn't. I'm just saying. Do you think she's too small for? Do you think she's
I think she's
just? Do you think her size is it enough of a disadvantage to her She just kind of doesn't really stand a chance against.
Well, I think she's too
like
big.
like a Zhang Weili or.
Well, but I don't know if she'd have as
Namajunas
much.
Or Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
I think her body's too big for 105. So the next obvious step would be 115.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's too big for 105 now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying anything needs to change, but I'm just saying, do you guys see her?
There's
breaking into it just based off of her size. Not
UFC
her skill.
math.
Do you think she's just one of those people who just, it's just
Fight math.
I don't think she's ever going to become champ at 115.
No, I don't either.
She's cool. She's a super cool
That's how I'm
person.
getting at. Do you think she has a chance to get to break through the top and get the belt?
No.
Okay.
No, I think she's good.
That's what I was trying to get to.
I think the fight math. I think the
for.
fight math is always going to work to her disadvantage. You've got the top of the division, which is high level, accurate, long strikers. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Rose Namajunas, Zhang Weili.
Yep.
She's got. I feel like she would be the same size as Andrade, Jessica Andrade.
That's what I was thinking too. Andrade would be the fight where I would see her having a good fight.
Yeah. So that would actually be a good fight. Andrade versus.
I think so too,
Waterson.
because her jiu-jitsu is pretty good. Waterson's is.
Yeah.
And you saw that against Jędrzejczyk. Those were the only two times in the fight where she almost lost, was when Michelle hopped on her back and almost choked her out.
I mean, we remember watching Michelle choke out PVZ, Paige Van Zandt.
Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was, I mean, she did it.
She's coming back
she
soon.
can do that, man.
Yeah.
She's got that in her.
And I want to see those shoes,
sure.
Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric told you
fucking
about
shoes,
those?
Eric.
Yeah. Eric, did he get those?
Yeah.
I told him I'd buy them off him.
Yeah, I think he bought them. Pretty sure he bought them.
Damn, good for him. Eric, you better be watching this.
We'll ask him Saturday.
And I want to see those shoes.
We won't.
I'll show you my
just have him
Jorge
listen.
shirt.
I'll tell him we put the podcast up and he'll listen to it. He usually does, and then he'll hear the question. He can answer it.
31 to 32 minutes in. Eric's. Should I say something? Yeah, Eric, watch this.
Yeah, maybe not his first. Not that probably anybody who.
Oh no!
Many people give a fuck. We can go in and bleep it out. Bleep out.
Oh, we gotta bleep out a lot of shit then.
No.
Just start saying his address.
Just people's full names, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
All
It
right.
doesn't matter. Nobody cares. All right, this.
Well, okay. One more thing.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Dude.
Do you think her next fight, Joanna, should be for the title?
No.
Who do you think she should fight next? I guess that's not one question.
Ooh.
Do you think Rose needs to fight one more person, and then that should be the title
Does
eliminator?
Joanna fight?
Andrade?
Jessica Andrade. Thank you.
I say
Does Joanna fight Andrade?
I say Andrade fights.
Didn't they already
Waterson.
fight?
Yes. They've already fought. I want to see Andrade fight Waterson.
I think that'd be
No,
a good
because
matchup.
Andrade just lost, but she lost from being champ. Waterson just lost.
Yeah, and she's still 7th. So
So you give you usually. I mean, sure, I wouldn't.
I
wouldn't
think they
hate
should
that
give
fight. I don't
Rose a
disagree with the
rematch against
fight.
Andrade in like Denver.
Rose Andrade.
Ooh.
Give
That's
her
cool.
give
but
her a
wait,
rematch.
Let's stick with the question
in
though. Is
Denver.
who does Joanna fight next? Does she get a title shot next? Ryan says no. I say if they gave it to her, I'd be okay with it. I'm not going to sit here and say though. I think she absolutely should get one though.
So strawweight's stacked, but I've got a name.
The only person above her, new rankings,
Above
other
Joanna?
than Rose and Jessica, and obviously Zhang
That's gonna be
Weili,
my pick.
Tatiana Suarez.
That's my
Tatiana,
pick.
dude.
That's the name I was going to throw out
So you
for
think Joanna versus Tatiana?
Yes.
You're right. That division is stacked.
It's stacked.
It's stacked.
Holy shit. Nina Ansaroff, Carla
Yep.
Esparza,
Carlos Barza.
Alexa Grasso, Amanda Ribas,
Claudia Gadela.
Gadelia.
yep. Carolina
How about
Kowalkiewicz.
Karate Hottie versus Carla Esparza? Esparza coming off a win.
Oh, yeah, that would be
Michelle
bad.
Waterson's still a big name, coming
Yeah.
off a loss.
Carla-
A loss to Joanna
I'm
doesn't necessarily take a ton away from a fighter when you lose to Joanna.
being myopic. Carla Esparza, is she the one that just beat?
Grasso.
Okay.
Yes, she just
The-
yes.
Grasso.
Okay, just
Yes.
making sure. I was
Yeah,
thinking that was
either-
right.
Arguably,
But I was just making
arguably
sure.
won the fight for sure. You could argue the other way.
Shit, then you got Grasso,
man.
too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I want to see Grasso fight somebody soon because she didn't take much damage in that fight, and I think she could fight soon.
Man, strawweight is just stacked. I feel like strawweight actually might be the most stacked division. in UFC, other
Right?
than maybe men's lightweight.
155 pounds, yeah.
Men's lightweight's stacked, and so is strawweight.
Yeah.
And the thing is I like watching them fight. Like, I don't mind that being the main event. And I know some people don't like that, but fuck.
Because they're old school.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I mean, that was fun. I mean, even though
Absolutely.
Waterson didn't... I'll tell you. I'm sitting there watching that fight, and I don't know if, Will, you were doing the same thing. But, and far be it for me to tell somebody how to fight most of the time. But I'm going in there, and I'm watching her, and I'm going, okay, so you're throwing this left roundhouse, right front kick. Left roundhouse, right front kick. She never once threw a, right roundhouse. Not
You're
once.
talking about
Waterson. I'm
Also,
going, she did the same
on top of that
thing.
is she never fucking landed that front kick.
Not once.
She hit air.
Every
missed
time.
By at least 4 or 5 inches up to 8 or 9 inches every time she threw that kick.
Mm-hmm.
Second time.
She was just giving away her position and
That was a
giving
bottle
out
cap
an
that time. Last time I
opportunity
dropped
to counterpunch. That's what she was doing. She was
Yep.
just giving
Yeah.
young Jacek an opportunity
the
to counter.
kicks were good in the sense that they were fast and she looked
Yes,
good and
she
had
is-
good form and she was quick with them and they looked powerful. She just never fucking landed.
Not when somebody
as good as
is
they looked,
4
they
inches
sucked.
taller than her. Exactly. Not when somebody's 4 inches taller and has a 3.5 inch reach
And
advantage.
she did it
She doesn't need to get in there.
pretty much did it the whole fight. I mean, she
did
threw
it
a
the
lot of
entire
those,
fight.
Threw a lot of those.
I sat there the entire
Without
time,
landing.
and after 2 rounds, I'm going, okay, if I'm watching you do this and saying, hey, when are you going to switch it up? I'm 100% positive that young Jacek and her corner are saying, holy shit, she's not switching it up. Let's just keep counterpunching and just waiting for her to throw that front kick and leg kick. And waiting for her to throw that front kick and body punch. It just kept going.
Yep. You could also see Joanna had more power there in that fight as well. Every time
Most
they got in
definitely.
the clinch, I think Joanna pretty much dominated the clinch every time.
Give Waterson for surviving a couple of elbows. Holy
Yes.
shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Hey man, Joanna just kind of did what Joanna does, man. She
Put the pressure
went out
on.
there. Yeah, exactly. Put the pressure on. High output, really accurate. Just
That was the thing.
I would
accuracy.
say I would
That always
feel
impresses me.
comfortable saying she dominated that fight.
I think she dominated in the sense of that you never...
Maybe she controlled that fight.
Yes.
Controlled the whole fight.
There was
She was in
never...
control.
There were 2 times, maybe a minute and a half of actual fight time where you were like, oh shit, she might lose this.
Yeah.
And it was only spurts. And honestly, the second one was decent at best.
Agreed.
What was it, 4th round? 5th round?
I think 4th.
Yeah. And you were going,
Pretty sure.
okay, I mean, she took her back. She rode her back for a minute.
Oh, maybe that was. I don't know.
It was late.
Anyway, yeah.
It was
had her,
late.
She, had her
She
back.
was
on her
beat
back.
up. She was
yep.
tired. Waterson was tired. But yeah, no. Young Jacek looked good. She looked
did.
really good.
We'll see what they give her next.
Yep. I hope,
We'll
honestly,
see if she stays at 115 pounds.
it'd be fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I
apparently,
mean, does she...
had a hard weight cut. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, she said this week though that according to her, she was never in jeopardy. I don't know why. She said it was the UFC's that reached out to her to ask about a catch weight. I mean, which seems odd to me, but that was what I saw her saying, was that the UFC had reached out and asked about that, and she said, "Hey, I guess whatever you want to do." And then obviously Michelle said, "Hell no, why would I do that?"
Yeah.
Her whole thing is that she needs to be
Especially when she looked
small
how
to
she
get
did.
down
It's like,
here.
I'm on weight and I'm looking and feeling
Yeah.
fantastic, so you can go ahead and fucking make weight.
Exactly.
Waterson
I don't
woke
blame
up
her for
on
that.
weight.
Yes. Yeah, she woke up that morning already on weight. Yeah. So she obviously did not have a bad weight cut, and she was not willing to meet
Young
Joanna.
Jacek weighed in early though. She went
That's
in
the
there
thing is she
right
weighed in
early.
115 and weighed
And a half.
I think she was 115 and a half. I think was she the first fighter on the scale?
First or
I
second.
think.
Something like that.
Yeah. So
I remember reading that.
Yeah. Thought she wouldn't make weight, and apparently made it no problem.
Yep. So I mean
we'll see
that's
if
the thing
she'll
sometimes
probably
is
stay
that Yeah, I would think she would because, I mean, we were saying this off a little bit earlier that the new pound-for-pound rankings came out, and it's funny to see Valentina Shevchenko at 11 while being, I don't know if it's consensus, but I think a lot of people think that she is least likely to get dethroned of all the champs currently.
I agree.
Who's that?
Maybe John Jones, Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Least likely to get dethroned at this point.
At least anytime
Khabib.
soon.
Oh, yeah, Khabib, definitely. But
He'll retire undefeated.
right, but I mean, so
Saying
why
it
would
now, motherfuckers?
why would you wanna
And we're never wrong.
go back
We're
into
never wrong.
yeah?
We were. By
Why
the way, we were
Yeah,
all
we were
so
all
wrong
so
about this
wrong.
past fucking weekend of
Yep.
fights. We just Mearshart, we were wrong. We thought he was going to win. He should have.
We got to just start throwing out locks of the week.
We also think he should have won. So you think he won the fight.
We got to
but
throw
were
out
wrong.
locks of the week and write them down because my locks of the week would have been Pena,
Swanson,
Gracie,
wrong.
and Watterson,
Swanson,
and I would have gotten
wrong.
fucked.
So wrong. Let's move on to the tomorrow. By the way,
Yeah.
fights are Friday.
Let's do it.
I've actually been skimming
This
over 'em.
Friday tomorrow. They main card starts at 9 p.m. Ryan, go ahead, man. Take it away. You've been
on
quiet because you didn't see this
ESPN2.
past fight.
ESPN.
Yeah, not even plus.
Yeah, not ESPN or ESPN Plus. So we're gonna start out the whole card with a heavyweight fight. Love heavyweight fights. Spitz versus Tanner Boser. Daniel Spitz versus Tanner Boser. Don't know either of these guys, but I just like heavyweight fights. Then we got Kevin Holland versus Brendan Allen at middleweight. Don't know either of them, either of you guys. Move on. The return of Court McGee at welterweight versus Sean Brady. Don't know Sean Brady.
Nope.
Undefeated, 10-0.
Brother of Tom. Probably not.
I don't think so. They are
Maybe.
fighting in Boston, though.
Yeah.
So.
Brady.
It's probably
Tom,
why they did that.
Sean.
Speaking of Boston, we
Yep.
have the Bostonian, Randy Costa.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Boston.
Well, he's
Yeah.
fighting a guy named Boston Salmon.
Boston Salmon.
I'm gonna
No,
call
let's
him,
just say salmon.
I say Salmon. Boston
Boston
Salmon.
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 Salesman.
Whatever it is.
He needs to sell this fight, or I'm not gonna fucking watch it.
Well,
Kidding.
he just has a very interesting name.
He does. We've seen him fight a couple times actually. I think he's a pretty talented dude. I believe he lost his last fight.
He definitely has a recognizable name. Boston
And
Salmon.
he got knocked out in the first round by Khalid Taha.
Taha. Okay, interesting.
Khalid Taha.
Interesting.
Yes.
After that, we have a featherweight fight: Kyle Bochniak versus Sean Woodson. And actually, Kyle Bochniak is a pretty fun fighter to watch. I'm actually looking forward to that fight, even though I don't know Woodson.
Bokniak.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, he got knocked out bad against Thomas, the Brazilian. Forgot his name. Thomas something. Thomas Almeida.
the Brazilian Almeida.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes.
I don't know what his real. Sorry, I don't know what his real
Nickname.
nickname is.
It's not the Brazilian.
No, it's not.
It'd be funny if it was though. After that, we got Molly McCann at women's flyweight versus Deanna. Damn.
Belbita.
Belbita.
Velveeta.
The cheese.
Yes.
Okay, so
Diana Cheese.
The Cheese Velveeta. Oh, I hope that's her fucking nickname. If it's not, it is.
Diana the Cheese Velveeta. The Warrior Princess.
That's no.
yes, you got.
Oh, dude,
Now
that would
you're
have been
the
so much
cheese.
better. Molly the Meatball McCann against Diana the Cheese Velveeta.
Oh,
Meatballs and cheese. Come
Diana
on, man.
Velveeta's name is officially
What are
the
we
cheese.
doing? Especially if it was Parmesan
We
cheese.
said it here at the Guys Talking Fights podcast.
Diana Parmesan Cheese Velveeta.
And if you like that, go
Diana
ahead.
Velveeta cheese.
Yeah, you can have that, Diana.
No,
I got
well,
you.
Velveeta
I'm
cheese.
talking about the viewers, the hundreds, thousands, maybe
The
even
hundreds and millions and billions of
maybe
viewers
even
that we have on
tens
this
of
podcast.
viewers that we have right now. If you like that, go ahead and subscribe. What else do they do?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Like.
Comment. Do all that. Comment, definitely. Just
Like,
comment.
comment, subscribe.
Make
Yes.
ghost accounts
Come
and
on, guys, this is
subscribe
YouTube.
again.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, there you go.
Charles Rosa, Manny
plugs.
Bermudez.
At catchweight, we already know that's a catchweight fight. So apparently someone did not make weight.
Who's the catcher?
Who's the
Don't
pitcher?
I don't know.
Me neither. Moving on.
Me neither. Manny Bermudez, although just throwing it out there, 14-1. It's a good fucking record.
Who?
Isn't he a little bit older,
Manny
too?
Bermudez.
Oh, okay.
14-1.
Isn't he a little bit older?
I mean, it's at featherweight. I don't really know.
And actually, his one loss was his last fight.
Against?
Throwing that out there. Casey Kenny. Casey Kenny, it was a decision.
Okay.
The Bermudez Triangle.
Is that really his nickname?
Yes.
Yes.
I hope he chokes people out.
Good.
Oh, dude, a triangle choke.
Wins by submission 11. Sweet.
No.
That's the best nickname.
That's
All right, Manny
fantastic.
Bermudez by submission. I'm rooting for him. I
Makes
want
me
that.
so happy.
Anybody want to put a shot of hot sauce on that?
God, no. Every time I bet you
Kenny.
hot sauce, I lose.
Is that the dude that just beat
From South
Michel? Michel, what's his face?
Oh, Pereira? What's his name? Kenny what?
His last name's Kenny.
No.
Okay.
No, that's a different guy. I'll remember that guy.
Lopez, Grant.
After that, starting the main card, opening the main card, is another catchweight fight.
Bermudez is only 25. Sweet.
Damn,
young dude.
Makes me feel old.
I'm going to be 30 next year.
I'm going to be 31 very soon. Which, by the way, that's
You have
fucking
2
young,
kids,
okay?
so-
Like, I'm fucking young as shit. 31 is not old.
I'm 27.
I'll throw those out there. Yeah, you're really
Jesus.
fucking young.
Yeah, I'm a child.
Hell yeah.
I am
It's a
definitely
good thing, man. Enjoy
I have a child.
We're fucking youthful. 31 ain't shit. 35 ain't shit. 40 ain't shit.
Duran
Motherfucking
Wynn,
50 ain't
Darren
shit.
Stewart.
Once you get over 50 and you're getting maybe a little, getting a little old.
Yeah.
What were you trying to put hot sauce on? Manny Bermudez? The Bermudez Triangle?
Him, if he doesn't win by submission,
Oh, hell
Jesus Christ.
you take a shot of hot sauce.
no.
Okay.
No, we're both like, no.
No.
Okay, so opening up the main card, we have another catchweight fight. 2 catchweight fights in a row. We have Deron, whatever his name is, Wynn versus Darren Stewart at middleweight.
I don't know shit about either one of those guys.
Neither do I.
Darren Wynn is 6-0. He's undefeated.
Okay.
6 fights, but he is undefeated, so that's cool.
Okay.
Don't know shit about those guys. Got nothing to say about either one. We'll see when they fight.
It's probably going to be a great fight.
We'll talk about it next episode, and
Yep.
let's see if one
Dragon
of those guys
Ball
looks good, or
Z.
maybe it's fight of the night. Who the fuck knows?
On the next episode of Dragon Balls.
No. I know where Fight of the Night's going to
On
be.
the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Just a bunch of screaming.
I know where Fight of the Night's going to be.
I know where it is going to be too, but we're going to go.
Not yet.
We're going to move on to the next one.
Macy Barber
I
and
think
Jillian Robertson.
I think this. First of all, Macy Barber.
Yeah.
I really like her.
Let's go, Macy.
She's
Would that be one of your locks?
she's fucking fantastic.
Huh? Is that one of your locks?
Yes,
think-
I'd lock in Barber for sure. Robertson,
Writing it
good
down.
fighter. You know, Barber's a workhorse. She's also young as fuck. Was she like 22, 23 years old?
Yeah, she's really young.
21, maybe?
Oh,
I just heard
She
him
was like
talking about it
22.
today.
yeah, she's a young up and comer.
The future.
Flyweight.
That
I
was
wonder if
also-
she'll have to change her
class.
name sooner or later.
Yeah, maybe the
I mean-
present,
I mean, Melvin Gillard.
The current.
the current.
Melvin Gillard never changed his name, and he was always the young assassin at the age of like 37.
Hell yeah,
Whatever he is.
that's fucking badass. That's what that is.
The young assassin.
But yeah, I got Macy Barber on this. I think she's gonna go 8-0, and I think we're gonna see her getting that title shot within the next year or so. I give her three more fights. As long as she keeps doing what she does, 3 fights from now, she wins this one. She wins 2 more fights. I think she's got maybe a title contention fight coming up.
Okay.
I give her three more good fights.
I don't want to see him push people too fast.
Me neither, but her last fight, she fought J.J. Aldrich,
Beat her.
who just won this past weekend. She beat her. Aldrich, not like the best fighter that we've ever seen in that weight class, but a good name, a good fighter, someone who has experience in the UFC. And Macy saw some, what's the word I'm looking for, adversity in the first round. She got rocked. She got knocked. And she came back and she won the fight. She looked great. Just fucking put on that pressure. Did what she does. I'm really impressed with her, and I think she's got a lot of hype behind her.
Well, being a Macy Barber fan.
Not a lot in front of her either.
Being a Macy Barber fan, though.
How so?
Just the names in front of her, there's not a lot.
Go ahead and read them off. And then, right, actually, Yeah, do that, and then Ryan,
go
say
ahead,
what you want to say.
Montana De La Rosa, Alexis Davis, Lauren Murphy, Roxanne Modafferi.
Yep.
Andrea Lee. This is when you start getting into it a little bit. Vivian Orejo, Jennifer Maya, Liz Carmouche, Joanne Calderwood, Jessica I, Caitlin Chukagan.
Yeah, Caitlin Chukagan.
And Shevchenko.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
I gave her 3 more.
Being a Macy Barber fan, Shevchenko's
Maybe
the
less.
champ. Shevchenko.
Especially if she makes some noise.
Murderer.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's what we were just talking about it. She's the most unseatable.
Yeah.
Do I see her beating Shevchenko? Is that what you're trying to ask me right now?
No.
Well,
I
I'm
don't.
saying, do I see her beating her? Not right now. Absolutely not.
Are you going to be okay with watching the slaughter of Macy Barber?
No, dude. I give her 3 more fights, then I say she gets.
They won't put her to
I say
slaughter
she
because
gets
she's
a title
young.
contention fight after that. So, counting this fight tomorrow, 4 more fights.
They don't want to ruin her.
And if she wins and she keeps winning the way she has,
End of
She gets
2020,
title shot.
early 2021, she'll fight for a title.
also she said in an interview she wants to be the youngest UFC champion ever.
Well,
How old is John?
Behind John Jones, 23 and a half, like 23 years and 8 months old.
Yeah.
So we said, I don't know why I said she was 22 or 23, because she was saying in an interview she wanted to be the youngest ever. So that would give her spring or something, early 2022, she would have to have the belt. So you're looking, 3 or 4 more fights. That's a year and a half, 2 years.
I think what would be really good for Barber if she
At
beats
the pace she's fighting at, unless they start throwing her fights.
Right. If she beats Robertson, I think a really good fight for her would be Paige Van Zandt, because Paige Van Zandt has a really big name in flyweight.
Yeah, definitely
She's
does.
beatable, and I think
Yep.
Barber could probably beat her, and that would be
21 years old.
that would be a good stepping stone for Barber, and it would give
Sure.
Barber a lot of attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Barber versus Paige Van Zandt, I'd like to see after if Barber can get past Robertson, which I don't know anything about Robertson.
Me neither.
She beats her quick, then
I think
Paige has
I
been
think
calling
Robertson,
for a fight before the end of
has
the
a
year.
good ground game. I think Robertson is a wrestling background, perhaps.
Yeah, like what Zach's saying, if Barber can get past Robertson fast enough, and if Paige Van Zandt wants to fight before the end of the year, Barber versus Paige.
So Jillian Robertson has 4 fights in the UFC. She's won 3 of those 4 fights, 2 by submission, 1 by knockout.
Not even, Macy has a high landed strikes per minute, but she also absorbs a lot. So, and the other girl is a grappler.
Yes. Yep.
So
2 fights by submission for Robertson.
Even though Barber, I think, is ranked higher than Paige Van Zandt, I don't remember you saying Van Zandt on there.
Van Zandt's not ranked.
If she, even though she's not ranked,
She's a name. She's the biggest female name.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of. Yeah. Sure.
I think she's the biggest.
Paige Van Zandt?
She's got like.
Because she's hot.
She's got like.
That's it. She was the only one that was in the
I mean,
the body.
fucking the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
yeah.
Well, so was Michelle Waterson actually, but
I didn't realize that.
yes. Well,
That's why she got a
body.
Hottie.
Oh, yes. So that was ESPN then.
Yeah.
Which makes more sense now because Paige Van Zandt probably wasn't with the UFC at that point when she was doing the Sports Illustrated thing because they were just getting into it with ESPN.
Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, we can move on from Macy Barber.
So the next
We
fight.
need to spend that much time there, but that was interesting. That was yo,
First round KO.
Barber?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Think she wins first round KO?
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
I don't know.
Sure.
I have no idea. Next fight.
Lock it up.
Second round submission against a grappler.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
All right.
She's been training wrestling with Ben Askren. Throwing that out there. And she already has pretty good jiu-jitsu.
All right. So the next fight after that is going to be Joe Lozon, the return of Joe Lozon, who's been a UFC vet forever.
Yeah.
27-15.
Yeah. Joe
Lots of
Lozon
fucking
versus
fights.
Jonathan Pierce. I don't know who Jonathan Pierce is.
7-3.
but
That's
Joe-
such a huge advantage when it comes to experience.
Joe Lozon is on the complete downhill swing of his career. I mean, like, literally.
What's he got going on?
I don't know why he's still fighting, honestly.
How many What's he done his last few fights? Anything?
Lose. So I mean, I really hope Joe Lozon can beat this guy who doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. I'm really hoping Lozon can beat him. If
he doesn't have like any stats on UFC either.
No, I don't know who this
So
is.
Joe Lozon has 3 fights in a row that he's lost.
Yeah.
Him and James Vick should fight.
I mean, they're both lightweights, actually. That wouldn't be too bad. Well, Vic is a welterweight now.
He's lost, I think it looks like he's lost 4 of his last 5, Lozon.
Jesus, that's
If you go back to 2016, August 2016, he lost to Jim Miller. In 2017.
Would just be Clay Guida.
Let's try to get on to the...
Lost. 1 fight last year that he lost, and this is his first fight this year, so... Only be his second fight in 2 years.
I want to try to get up near like the main event by like 1 hour because we're at 55 minutes right now.
55 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
So the next fight after that is that
Greg Hardy and Ben
piece of
Sassoli.
shit Greg Hardy versus Ben Sassoli, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, we're the co-main event right now. We're good. 55 minutes in. We all right.
That'll be another lock for me.
Wait, you got to do some more. Actually, we got a lot of other stuff to talk about.
You're taking Greg Hardy?
Yeah.
I don't know who Sassoli is. Sassoli?
KO for Hardy.
Hardy.
KO, TKO.
100%.
Something like that.
Dude, they're just throwing him fucking whoever.
Isn't this like his 4th or 5th fight in UFC heavyweight?
4th, I believe.
When is he going to fight like a legit UFC heavyweight?
When he has a legitimate, clean cut, really good performance.
He has yet to fight an actual UFC heavyweight. He's fighting all these guys that are making their debuts, or like I think the lifeguard that like bloated looking motherfucker. I think he might have fought in the UFC once before that. But like I want to see Greg Hardy. Actually
Didn't he beat
test
Tuivasa?
No.
No, he didn't.
He would have.
Greg Hardy?
Oh my God, Tuivasa would have eaten him alive. That would have been great.
Tuivasa just looks sad.
Oh, I want Tuivasa to knock out Greg Hardy so bad.
No, I want somebody to.
Tuivasa's
I've been praying
like
for somebody to knock him out.
Like a less successful Derek Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Derek Lewis and Greg Hardy would
Derek
be fun.
Lewis just not. He just doesn't have. Just can't fucking find a win. Derek Lewis obviously was going on a tear.
Derek Lewis and Greg Hardy should fight each other.
I like that.
I like that a lot. I feel like Derek Lewis would fuck him up.
Derek Lewis would fuck him up round 1.
I really think he would. I think Derek Lewis has way more experience.
I don't see
so
Greg.
much fun.
He's way more talented.
I don't see Greg Hardy as really an actual fighter.
No, he's a brawler.
Yeah,
he's not.
He's
Well,
not.
yes. So you would say
He's a gigantic football player who got kicked out of football for
just a brawler.
He's
an actual fighter.
I don't see him as
with a brawling style.
I don't see him as a UFC
Derek
fighter.
Lewis.
I see him like a CM Punk type of thing where it's a celebrity.
Make sure when you. By the way, when you're looking at me, make sure you're in that mic.
I see.
You're good. I just want to make sure you sound alright.
Yeah, I see Greg Hardy as like a CM Punk type of thing where UFC's taken a established celebrity and they're putting him in there just for name value, even though they're not actually a true fighter. I don't see Greg Hardy as a true fighter.
No, he's a gigantic individual who got kicked out of the NFL for repeatedly doing shit you're like not supposed to do, like picking up your girlfriend and throwing her onto a bed full of machine guns, stuff like that.
Oh, good for him. More guys should do that.
Kill her multiple times.
I do that every day. I throw random girls into beds full of guns.
Obviously. Doesn't have
Doesn't
beds
every guy
covered
do
in
that?
assault
Isn't that like a
weapons.
fucking thing?
I do.
Moving on. Now that the FBI is wanting and watching us.
Nah. Hey, if you guys don't get sarcasm, fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Co-main event.
Yair Rodriguez versus Jeremy Stevens.
Thank God, that this fight is happening again, and holy fuck.
Who wants to see Yair Rodriguez just to go Mr. Insano? Captain Insano.
I want to see Jeremy Stevens.
Captain Insano with the eyeballs.
I want to see Jeremy Stevens knock him the fuck out. And I think Jeremy
That
Stevens...
may be what you want, but that's not what's going to happen.
Jeremy Stevens is winning this fight.
Yair Rodriguez is winning this fight.
Ooh.
Okay. Do you have an idea or a belief or a feeling of how?
Decision.
Okay.
Wins a decision? Yair wins a decision?
So the
And
first...
there's no way in fuck Yair outworks Jeremy Stevens.
I think he's going to...
I respect your opinion. I just disagree with it.
I don't think that it's going to be a work thing.
Okay.
I think Stevens is probably going to take him down borderline absurd amount of times.
Okay.
7 to 12 times,
Holy
probably,
shit.
throughout the
Okay.
course of a fight. Because Yair won't be able to defend it. But the reason that he will be doing it is because he will be getting worked in stand-up.
So,
All right.
I'm gonna do
I
something.
disagree.
I'm gonna do something for the first time in Guys Talking Fights history.
Let's hear it.
Instead of betting you, I want to bet you.
Hey.
I want to bet Zach a
Hey,
shot of hot
Brian,
Does it
you
have
wanna
to be
win a
hot
bet?
sauce?
Don't bet against me. Bet
No,
against Zach.
Exactly.
Does it have to be
Especially on
hot
this
sauce?
one,
I'd
I'd
you're
rather
gonna
bet
fucking
money
win.
than hot sauce.
I guarantee
Has to be
Zach's
hot-
taking his first shot of fucking hot sauce.
Has to
Go
be
ahead and make
hot
your
sauce.
bet.
Now, Zach, I have never won
don't
a
like
single
hot
bet.
sauce.
I've never won a single bet on the show. I've never won a bet in my life.
I don't like hot sauce.
That's okay. Neither
Like
do
I said, I'd rather bet money.
Oh, we're going hot sauce. I'm taking Jeremy Stevens anyway, and you take Yair anyway. Anyway.
It's a GTF podcast tradition, bro. When we bet hot sauce. We don't bet real money. Because we live in New York and gambling's illegal.
No, it's not.
Gambling's legal.
Unless you're in a...
It's completely legal.
not
I do
in,
it
like...
every weekend.
Yeah, but don't you have to be on a reservation?
No, you just have to be at a casino.
Whatever.
Now that the FBI is our second view.
I bet a lot, too.
So, Zach, want to take that?
Yes.
Sweet. Nice. I'm going to drink some more hot sauce.
I know. I'm so excited.
So, Jeremy Stevens is going to win that fight.
Nah,
I think he knocks him out.
What
He
round?
knocks him out in the first round.
Well, I think Jeremy's going to be even more motivated, and that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. Jeremy's going to come in
Definitely
here.
could be a bad thing.
He's going to want to fucking take Yair's head off within the first 10 seconds. And so I could see that being almost a bad thing for Jeremy because he's going to gas. Or he could just be so motivated that like he's going to just power through any type of adversity and be like, no, I'm going to fuck this guy up. And I think that's what he's going to do. I think Jeremy's going to knock out Yair. Whether he was going to do that
He is.
2-3 weeks ago, whatever it was.
That was 3 weeks ago, I believe.
Now Jeremy wants it even more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the
He
way.
definitely wants it more, especially the way Yair's been being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot of people who already didn't really like Yair, but he definitely solidified that to me that he's kind of an asshole at the way he acted after that fight.
Yeah.
Which I believe we've already talked about it, so we don't need to cover it again. People fucking watching this probably know already.
Go ahead and go back to
Yair was being a dick.
GTF 7, 6, 5, one of those. Go
I
back
think
to
it was
one of those.
6. I think.
Moving on. Either.
I like Yair.
I like him too, but I like Jeremy more.
I'm not saying I don't like Yair. I'm just saying he's kind of being an asshole.
Random breaking
People
news.
have been saying that, so I can see it.
Dana White says he will not make the fight between Frankie Edgar and Conor McGregor.
I don't blame him.
Okay.
It's kind of a waste.
Well, he's saying basically the same thing that we were saying
I don't wanna
earlier.
see
It doesn't make
I'd
sense.
watch it.
Oh yeah.
I don't
But it
care
doesn't
to
make sense
see
for
it.
Frankie to say like a few months ago, "Hey, I'm thinking about going to 135 and then jump to 155 to fight Conor."
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Dana White officially said that
it would
that
be
shit
just
ain't happening.
legitimately all it would be a tune-up fight for Conor at 155.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it makes no sense.
It would get him a win over a big name, which is what he needs right now if he wants to not fight a bunch of times to get a title shot again.
Yeah,
He
and
needs a
Dana
decisive win over a big name.
was saying that Frankie actually has a legitimate shot at the 135 title if he goes for it. So
Oh, I think he does too.
Possibly.
Yeah.
100%.
So
No doubt about it.
it would definitely make more sense for him to just go down there and fight out the rest of his four years or so that he has of a career. And
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even say 4 years.
you don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I mean, going back to whether we like Yair or not, I like Yair. I have a little bit of chip on my shoulder with him because he knocked out
Korean.
Zombie
Yeah.
in the last second. Even though
I like Korean Zombie too, though.
Yair
me
was
too.
losing that whole fight.
Yeah, he was.
The only part of that fight I never liked was the continual dapping. So they just kept dapping each other up.
Oh.
It's like, dude, can we stop that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I respect each other.
Yeah, it's fine at the beginning of every single round, and then it was like, oh, that was a good punch, dap. That one hurt, dap.
All All right, so
Go ahead, main event, man.
Main event:
Take her away.
Dominic Reyes versus Chris Weidman.
So we were talking about the light heavyweight division, and we like seeing these newer, not quite recognizable names, super recognizable names yet coming up.
That'd be Reyes.
And here we got some. Dominic Reyes. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, not the most recognizable dude, but he is up there in rank, though. I believe he's
Dominic Reyes is 4.
Ooh, 4.
Yep, there you go. Well, you figure he
Weidman's 8.
At middleweight.
You go to May 19th, 2018. Dominic Reyes beats Jared Cannonier, TKO. Then you go to October 6th,
heavy, though,
2018.
right?
This is light heavyweight. Just saying, he's on a run. He beats OSP. Then light heavyweight,
who just had a win but didn't look fantastic.
What are you talking about?
OSP.
Yeah, just saying. He beat Jared Cannonier, light heavyweight. He beat OSP, light heavyweight. He beat Volkan Ozdemir in this last fight.
You were saying you didn't agree with that.
No, I thought Ozdemir won that fight.
Okay.
It was a split, I think. I'm pretty sure it was a split decision.
It was a decision. They went 3 rounds. It was March of this year. That was Dominic Reyes' last fight.
Yeah, I think that was a split decision. And, I mean, I had Ozdemir in that fight. Not holding anything against Reyes, but...
Right.
I mean, yeah, it was a split. It was a split decision against Ozdemir. But him versus Weidman, I'm taking Reyes.
Me too.
Never been a big Weidman fan. This is going to be Weidman's first fight at light heavyweight.
Not a fan of Weidman as far as his fighting style, as far as you think he's overrated, as far as... How do you
actually,
mean? Just curious.
I do like his fighting style. I don't like his personality.
Mm.
And when I was out in UFC Buffalo, Weidman fought Gegard Mousasi. And Weidman got a knee, which people thought was illegal at first. And so they stopped the fight, and so they did a replay, and they realized that it wasn't illegal. And leading up to the replay, Weidman saying, I can't fight, I got hit with a knee, it was a bad knee, and all that stuff. And so he was trying to win by disqualification, whereas against Mousasi, they did the replay, and it turns out it was a good knee, so then Weidman's saying, I'm good, I can fight now. And so they just ended the fight, because you can't
Once they go to a replay, I think the fight's over,
That's
right?
it, yeah. So I don't like Weidman's tactics on that fight, where you can't fight because you thought the shot was illegal, but when you find out the shot is legal, now you can fight again? No, I don't like that. So I will never like Weidman. Todd Duffy. I don't like him.
I feel like of all of us, of the 3 of us, you hate Todd Duffy more than any.
Todd Duffy, Kevin Lee. Can't wait for Gregor Gillespie to kick
Every
his
time Kevin Lee
fucking
talks,
ass.
I want to throw up in my mouth.
Oh, that's how Colby is with me, actually.
Colby.
Oh my god.
Hey, Colby. Hey, what's up there, Colby?
All right, you want to make predictions for the main event and then move on to random ass news, and then we'll cut this fucker's head off.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we did have a lot to talk about, but I'm gonna go Dominic Reyes.
Going Dominic Reyes.
I'm going Dominic Reyes.
All right. Sorry, Weidman. Think you're a good fighter, but you ain't winning this fucking fight.
Nope.
Random news. I hope I can make it because I gotta piss really bad.
All right. Usman, this was about a week and change ago, saying that his fight with Colby Covington is the most anticipated. I laughed out loud when I read that. The same card has Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski on it. I'm more excited for that one, even than Usman and Covington, although I will admit that I do want to watch Usman win against Covington. However, then after that, Usman won't fight till like 2023 or something. So,
Sure.
GSP saying he'd come out of retirement to fight Khabib, as long as the money was correct.
GSP?
Yes.
Dana White has also come on record and said that he'd be open to that.
Yep.
Tony has to fight Khabib first.
Yep.
Khabib totally wins that fight.
Against GSP or Khabib? Or against GSP or Tony?
Khabib beats both.
Or both.
I am more confident about Khabib beating GSP
Than Tony.
That's a scary... in my opinion, that's the hardest fight for Khabib. If he wants to stay undefeated, he gets through Tony Ferguson. I think he's got it. Gaethje also a scary fight. I think Tony is the hardest fight for anyone in that weight.
Did you hear Khabib's manager
follow closely
talking a
by
bunch of
probably
shit?
Gaethje, if you don't count Khabib.
Did you hear Habib's manager talking a bunch of shit though?
About who?
Ali
About Tony.
Abdelaziz. He's always talking shit, dude. It's
Well,
what
he was
he's a hype guy as much as he is.
Well, he was just saying that Tony
He's probably one of the
doesn't
most
even
well-known
deserve a shot.
managers. He knows people are listening to him.
Yeah.
Of course he said that.
He was saying Tony doesn't even deserve a shot.
Yeah,
He
that's
thinks Tony's
bullshit.
been ducking him.
Of course he said that, dude. Of course he did. That's why I used to not be a huge fan of Ali Abdelaziz, but
I don't like him.
I see what he's doing. I get it.
I've never liked him.
Dude, if you look at every single fighter that he manages, they all respect him and like him.
Don't care.
So I think the shit he does on like social media and the stuff he just kind of throws out there to get reactions from people, I think that's why he does it, is just to get reactions.
Oh, more than likely.
Just to stir the pot.
He has a stupid.
I don't think he's a bad guy. What's up?
He has a stupid looking head.
Okay.
Stupid head.
Sure.
That's my opinion.
I don't dislike
Further
him. I thought
Habib
I did, but I
news.
do not.
Okay.
I'm sure some of you have seen the viral video of Habib
Habib.
swimming upstream in some
Habib.
half-frozen river in Dagestan.
Yes.
And I don't know if we were the only ones that were just expecting there to be a bear right on the edge of the river waiting to fight him as he got out.
Just swims up a river, well, swimming against the current,
Yep.
kind of going backwards.
Yep.
And the river gets out and then just wrestles a bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty normal.
And then
Pretty
actually
awesome.
eats the bear.
Eats the bear.
Yes.
Raw.
What he does
Raw.
actually is he allows the bear to catch a salmon first, and then he cuts open the bear to get the salmon.
Okay.
I've actually had
Yeah,
bear.
I like this.
I've eaten bear before. It's actually pretty good.
Oh, I
Yeah?
thought you were going to say you've had bear salmon.
No, I've not had bear salmon.
Boston salmon. Bearston salmon.
Another viral video story. There was a video of a kid getting beat up in the bathroom of his, I believe it was either middle school or junior high school. Dylan Dennis saw it and offered to give him jiu-jitsu lessons for the rest of his life for free. And just this week I saw a photo of the kid taking his first lesson. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, he's actually taking the lesson?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
That is-
So I
that
thought
is-
that was pretty cool.
That is cool of Dylan, and I usually hate him, but that is pretty cool.
Yep, I thought that was really cool.
Hell yeah.
We did just talk about Frankie and Connor, and that was one of my other things was Connor, the see you in December tweet to Frankie Edgar.
Happy birthday.
Holy shit, Mike Tyson shadowboxing at 53 years old. I would not fight that dude till the day he dies.
Absolutely not.
Holy shit.
He's
Even
still
if-
got it, man.
Even if he's on his deathbed.
Regardless if he was just shadow boxing, fucking around.
Oh,
was
it
just
doesn't
like-
matter.
It's like just to see the way he moves, just like he's not just like fucking
Still
around.
has
He's
good
like,
footwork.
he puts everything. He's like
Arms are tight.
intense, dude. He's just like
Yep.
he's like in his head. He's in a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Like just
Elbows are
watching
tight
him
to
move,
his
it's
side.
like,
The funny
look at this
thing,
fucking guy, dude. That's a scary individual. Still, just 53 years old.
the funny thing is that at this point in his life, he is probably the most sober he's ever been. And he may honestly be, he's obviously not as powerful he was in his 20s when he's knocking people out in
not.
like 10 seconds, 9 seconds, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
But honestly, he'd probably be a better overall fighter at this point in his life than he was back then.
Him versus Conor McGregor.
Sure.
In a
Oh,
boxing
Jesus
match, he'd
Christ.
probably win. That's the funny part.
I'd watch the hell
In
out
a
of
straight up boxing match, he also
Absolutely.
probably has 30 pounds on Conor.
it. That's okay.
Not more than that.
Knock his ass out.
30 pounds, probably more than that.
180, 190, 200 pounds
What else we
for
got?
Tyson. Tyson's only 5'9".
Is he
He's
really?
not that tall. Yeah, no.
How tall
That
is
was
he?
the thing with his heavyweight thing was nobody ever thought he was going to be any good because he was so small, but he just had insane amounts of power, and it didn't matter if you
That
could
dude's got to
even
fucking
keep him
pushing
at
200
distance.
something pounds right now.
Still, maybe.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Maybe. And just random one. Speaking of boxing, and this was weird to me. Canelo Alvarez to box Tyron Woodley.
I don't actually believe that.
See, I don't really either.
But the most interesting part.
Was the publication that I saw it on thought that Tyron Woodley would have a better chance in a boxing match against Canelo Alvarez than an MMA fight.
That makes no sense.
It didn't make any sense to me either. I think maybe he's confused and maybe he just mixed up his words
Probably. Maybe
But-
he just said Tyron Woodley and he meant to say
and
Canelo.
just flip-flopped it. Yeah,
Canelo would have a better chance at
in a boxing match by a long shot.
Because all you have to do
He's
is
a
box.
younger and he's a boxer.
And Tyron can't wrestle or do submissions or throw leg kicks.
Yeah. Like, that's what I don't get. I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. And plus, honestly, Tyron Woodley looks like he's got to outweigh Alvarez by 20 pounds.
Whoever wrote that obviously just doesn't know what they're talking about or fucked up. And it wasn't maybe
the thing that made me laugh is when I initially saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, this has got to be some bullshit. And so I click on it, and then I see another couple people that are following it are Michelle Watterson, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Rose Namajunas. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me that these people that actually would know what they're talking about are following this thing, and this page is saying weird shit like that.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Yeah. Maybe it's a joke.
Honestly, if it was truly a boxing match, Canelo would win. If it was an MMA fight, I think it's pretty obvious Tyron would win, which is the same thing I think everybody basically thought a few years ago when Conor fought Floyd Mayweather, which is, of course, Floyd Mayweather's going to win a boxing match. He wins boxing matches against actual boxers. And then you've got...
he's undefeated.
Exactly.
And arguably one of the best to ever do it.
Best defensive to ever do it.
Yes.
And because he actually beat Canelo. But if he had gotten into a cage with Conor, it wouldn't have lasted a full round.
Yeah, no, Conor would have fucked him up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, real quick.
It would have been one of those
spinning leg kick.
Oh, spinning body kick.
Leg kick.
Spinning body kick.
Whatever kick
that
you want to
run
call
up spinning body kick that he does would hit Floyd one time in the stomach and he would crumple.
Yeah.
He'd be like, no.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, that sucks. That's different.
Nope.
How do I defend? Oh,
he'd go jumping. Yeah, no. I can't duck out of the way of that.
Timeout?
He'd duck and get kicked in the face.
Kneed in the face or elbowed.
Ben Askren kneed in the face.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Anything else, gentlemen? Anything else you want to throw in here? Anything about Bellator? Anything about One?
Oh, okay.
Mighty Mouse?
Okay.
He just won.
Want to fight?
I see what we're going with. Okay. So, I took some notes. A lot of things happened over the weekend. One was actually like Sunday morning for us. The notes I have is Mighty Mouse won the One Grand Prix Flyweight Championship.
Hell yeah.
Or Flyweight Tournament.
Mighty Mouse.
Their flyweight is 134, which would be our bantamweight. Brandon Vera, who is the One heavyweight champ, went for the light heavyweight title and lost. And Yushin Okami won his fight, a former UFC veteran. Bellator, which was on Saturday, was held in Italy. Alessio Sakara won by TKO in 23 seconds, which I believe at light heavyweight. And Melvin Mainoff, one of my favorite fighters.
You like him a lot, yeah?
Won by TKO in round one as well. Then moving on to PFL, Professional Fighters League. On Friday, Kayla Harrison, a lightweight and supposedly the next Ronda Rousey, who is 6-0, won by round one armbar, just like Rousey. But she's a 155er, and I could see possibly Bellator, what they're doing is building up their 145 division. I could see them eventually bringing Kayla Harrison over for like a super fight with most likely Cyborg.
Cyborg, yeah. Well, hey, we'll see the Cyborg fight against Julia Budd goes.
Yes, exactly, yes.
Which you probably lean toward Cyborg on that. Cyborg, I mean, I think most people would, but you never know. It's a fight.
That's true. I mean,
but yeah, if Cyborg wins, then yeah. I mean,
we totally thought she was going to run through a man. We totally thought she was going to run through Amanda Nunes, and Amanda Nunes ran through her.
She did.
So that's that. It was a pretty busy weekend as far as fights outside of the UFC goes.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to touch on that shit. Maybe we should start doing that stuff right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Just kind of get anything else.
Roy Nelson is fighting Frank Mir.
Ooh.
Okay.
Actually, even huge news outside the UFC. Fedor Emelianenko is going to fight Rampage Jackson.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's cool as fuck.
That's pretty big.
That's huge, man.
Random MMA news also.
Go ahead.
30 for 30. Tito and Chuck Liddell. Did you see that?
What?
You know what 30 for 30s are?
Those are
the documentaries on ESPN.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're doing one that's Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell. It's supposed to be awesome.
All right.
It's supposed to be awesome.
On their latest fight,
I'm excited
which was
for
terrible.
that. Yeah, no, on their entire rivalry against each other.
Okay, they're gonna touch on the most latest one though.
I'm sure they will, but yeah.
Chuck's just
Can we get this under 120? We're at 119.30.
Yeah, whatever. That's all good.
No.
If nobody, I got nothing else to say.
20
I'm
seconds.
Good.
22, 21,
Ladies
20.
and gentlemen,
Guys talking fights.
Like, comment, subscribe.
15.
Peace out.
Later.